Okay. So we are live.
Are we live?
Yeah. Just like this. Okay. Hello and welcome everyone to the next episode of the second episode of Talk About It. And my name is Anushree. I'm your host, and I'm based in Malaysia. And many of times people are asking me, so I want to answer like talking to people, finding life stories which are very interesting, and having deep conversations have always been my kick. So, hence why I formulated this concept of talk about it, just to bring out such incredible journeys where we can just discuss about the challenges, failures, self doubts, and of course, achievements. We'll also have some segments within the show, like moments of truth, rapid fire, which I'll explain as we go along. And audience, please feel free to ask any questions in between, and we'll try to address whatever we can. Okay, so let's go. Sorry, I'm very super duper excited today because probably because of two reasons. One is, of course, I'm having a kick-ass, hilarious guest over, and second, she's a very good friend of mine from college. So that's Rupali Tyagi, guys. Hey.
Hey, hello. Do we have anybody yet, or is it just the two of us?
Okay, so this would be like a live talk show between myself and yourself. People are watching it live. They can comment. They can see.
Okay.
I can like if I will, I'll be able to see who all have joined or whoever is commenting. So I'll be able to see how many people are joined there.
Okay,
I'm hoping
let's just
people join
yeah,
and see. Yeah.
sure. We'll assume the world is watching us.
Okay. Okay. So before you start, it is my cue to introduce you. Okay.
Yeah, do that.
So guys, Rupali has been working as a stand-up comic since past 6 years, and
There is a lie here. I have not been working, guys. I've just been a. There is no work.
okay. And before I say anything, I actually wanted to play a small clip of Rupali during one of her show, and it is just to show the level of comic that we are talking about here. And trust me, I had the hardest time selecting like which portion of joke I should play because it was hilarious throughout. So I was like, didn't know what to select because, and then I kept on watching it on loop like few times. So just hang on a minute, I'll play a small clip.
तो गाइस मैं भी अपने पति को ऐसे कन्विंस करती रहती थी कि लेट्स नॉट हैव किड्स एंड आई यूज्ड टू गिव हिम ऑल लेम एक्सक्यूजेस टू कन्विंस हिम वन डे आई वाज लाइक बेबी व्हाट इफ आई डाई ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस बिकॉज़ women die during labor now suddenly he was even more convinced about having kids guys but then we had this long discussion actually heated argument but after this long discussion both of us mutually decided that we don't want kids in our lives I know it's a difficult decision, but to each its own, yeah? But then Huggy's sad happens, in which the mother takes the cutest naked kid, turns him upside down, holds the bum, squeezes it a little, and leaves it like this, and the bum oscillates. Now I want that thing. But apparently you can't just have the bum, you have to have the entire baby with it. And guess what? These babies will grow and will not even show it to you anymore. तो मैं अगर हर किसी से ऐसे पूछती रहती थी कि भैया तुम क्यों गए बाप तुम क्यों बन गई माँ. So randomly, like one day a senior called me from college after 6 years and she's like, hey, do you have so and so's number? And I'm like, Rashmi, why are you a mother? And she's like, excuse me. I'm like, no, I really want to know, like, what if I become a mother now and few years later I repent and then there is no going back and it's irreversible now I have. She's like, calm down. She said, see Rupali. And guys, this is what she told me. $1 million answer. She said, see Rupali, this is not a yes and no simple answer. See, when you become a parent, in the first year of parenting, you will go through those sleepless nights. You'll be like, fuck this shit. But then the baby will learn to smile at you and be like, this is great. But then the baby will learn to bite you and be like, fuck this shit. But then the baby will go to school and make a card for you and be like, this is great. But then she will kick other kids and all the moms will come after and be like, fuck this shit. But then she will win a 100 meters race and be like, this is great. But then she will fail in a maths exam and be like, fuck this shit. But then she will grow into a beautiful teenager and be like, this is great. But then you will find her sleeping with a boy in your own house and be like, fuck this shit. But then she will go to college, become responsible and be like, this is great. But then she will find a job, she will not have time for you, never got. I'm like, hold on. How long is this answer? Because while you were speaking, मैं तो pregnant हो चुकी हूँ.
Okay, so that my best part was when you oscillated along with the bum, like the bum.
Yeah, I think this person is good in the video. I felt कि मैं अपने ही वीडियो के रिएक्शन वीडियो में हूँ.
It is hilarious. I literally like the last line कि भाई तू जब तक बोल रही थी मैं तो pregnant हो गई.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so now without any delay, I would ask Rupali to introduce herself, but I want to read her Twitter introduction as well, the one which is on Twitter account. Engineer turned MBA, wife to a husband, daughter-in-law to a mother-in-law, and a human being to a human being. Jack of all trades, mother of one. Rupali Tyagi, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Rupali. Just share with our audience about your life journey, how it has been, like how you, being a computer science student, which I know you have come here. It's a long journey, I know, but you just tell us, just share the overall trigger points, how it happened, and the thought process behind.
मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है एकदम कि मेरा इंटरव्यू होने वाला है और ये स्टैंड अप की जॉब पता नहीं मुझे मिलेगी कि नहीं मिलेगी.
No.
तो वैसे हाँ मतलब आई एम एन इंजीनियर एंड देन आई डिड माय एमबीए और वो भी एक्सप्लेन करना मुश्किल है एक्चुअली कि इंजीनियरिंग के बाद एमबीए क्यों कर लिया. फिर मैंने उसके बाद स्टैंड अप भी करना शुरू कर दिया. आई थिंक फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम मेरे को ऐसे था कि कुछ तो कर सकती हूँ मैं, जो सबको ही लगता है, हमको शायद हर किसी इंसान को लगता है कि कुछ तो कर सकते हैं, हमें बस पता ही नहीं लग पा रहा है कि क्या है. एंड देन आई वांटेड टू ट्राई थिएटर फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम.
Okay.
बट मैं अनुश्री को वही बता रही थी कि कॉलेज में जब हम कुछ करना चाहते थे तो क्या था, पैसा थोड़ा कम होता था और
हाँ.
कुछ भी करने के लिए आपको A to point B जाने के लिए भी यू नीड्स मनी. So
हाँ.
most of those things go to the back seat. You do what is most important and that is to get a
You have
job.
to evaluate कि कैफेटेरिया में समोसा खाऊं कि ऑटो वाले को पैसे दूं.
हाँ, या बॉयफ्रेंड के साथ बात करने के लिए 10 रुपए का कूपन
10 रुपए का चार्ज.
रिचार्ज. So yeah, उस टाइम पे it wasn't possible. And then life keeps on going. I then went to MBA from XIM Bhubaneswar. Was there for 2 years, of course, because the course was for 2 years. So I passed on time, guys. And then I got married in 2013. And still, like, in my heart somewhere I was unhappy. I felt कि कुछ तो है यार जो अभी भी missing तो है life में. अभी सब कुछ मिल गया है, बंदा भी अच्छा मिल गया है, प्यार व्यार सब है लाइफ में, लेकिन कुछ तो मिसिंग है. एंड देन शादी के आई थिंक 1 साल बाद मैंने ऐसा थिएटर ज्वाइन किया. एक मैंने क्लास ज्वाइन कर ली थिएटर की. तो मुझे काफी अच्छा लगा एंड इट वाज जस्ट लाइक आई थॉट कि यार एक तो कुछ नई चीज करनी पड़ेगी ना, तभी कुछ नया होगा लाइफ में, अदरवाइज तो ऐसे ही सोचते रहेंगे कि क्या करना है. तो वो थिएटर की क्लास मैंने ज्वाइन की, मुझे काफी लिबरेटिंग लगा. मैंने 2-4 प्लेस भी किए उनके साथ, थोड़ा ट्रैवल भी किया. एंड फॉर्चुनेटली दे यूज्ड टू डू एन ओपन माइक. वो लोग के लिए भी कॉमेडी ओपन माइक बहुत नया था. और उनको भी ज्यादा पता नहीं था. And I happened to be in an open mic and I asked the person, the director, I said कि ये क्या कर रहे हो आप? And he said कि this is comedy open mic, ये US में ऐसे बहुत होता है. And I said I would want to try. So basically
Oh,
anybody can, yeah, so basically what an open mic is, Anushree, if you have to start comedy, you
mhm.
can hit the open mic in your city. You can register your name. These open mics sometimes are you have to pay to perform. Sometimes in
Okay.
some cities these open mics are free, and then you register and do your first 3 minutes. And
Okay.
sometimes it's terrible, and sometimes you get a laugh or a chuckle, and sometimes it's also great. And
Okay.
you suddenly start believing, oh, kuch to baat hai mujh mein, which turns out to be, wrong later. So it could be anything. so, so you, मतलब first open mic से कुछ नहीं पता चल सकता, but I did my first open mic. I scribbled few jokes at the venue, and then I went on stage, and actually I got a lot of laughs. And
Okay.
so I couldn't forget that feeling. जब मैं घर आई ना तो मैं बहुत बहुत हाई था, मतलब ऐसे
So
बहुत ही
that
खुश
was your first stage performance as a comic.
as a comic, yes. And that was, I think, 2015 December. And उस time पे even the theater group, they weren't so aware, so they liked the performance, so they said हम आपको direct show में ले लेंगे, which is not the case now. अब आजकल it's very difficult to get into a paid show. You have to like work your ass for like years, and then it happens,
Okay.
and sometimes not. So then they gave me a paid show, and I wrote a new set for them for 7 minutes, and then I performed, and it killed again. So
Oh,
yeah, so then I thought कि यार कुछ तो ये कहीं तो जा रहा
there's
है ये.
something there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a long journey. For वो एक साल मैंने उन्हीं के साथ 2-3 shows किए, ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं किया. फिर 2016 के end में मुझे पता चला कि actually open mic is something that you have to go on stage every day. It's not that, once in a while you go to an open mic, you try something. So if you have to be a serious professional comic, you have to be on stage every day. You have to write every day. You have to try your jokes every day. And that's how the entire process, that's how you work on your craft. So 2017 onwards, I was more regular with the mics.
Okay.
And yeah, then I became pregnant in 2018. And 2021 is when I released my first video. So it was a long time after I started.
That's awesome. But okay, so now we'll break this down. I know it's a long journey. Now
Yes.
we'll try to break this down. So I want to understand firstly that the first decision, like you just said, ki, dikha aisa, you just registered yourself as an open micer and you joined the theater. Even that, like, I want to understand what exactly was the thought process behind कि हो रहा था यू सॉ तो कर लिया कि ये कुछ ऐसा था जो तुम काफी टाइम से यू वर प्रिपेयरिंग इन योर हेड कि कुछ तो ऐसे अलग सा करना है अराउंड ओपन माइक और
हाँ.
कॉमेडी एनीथिंग
नहीं, मेरे दिमाग में ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं था ऑनेस्टली, और मुझे ये पता भी नहीं था कि मैं फनी, मतलब सो आई वाज एक्चुअली इन माय, इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग दैट आई हैव बीन अ राइटर इन माय लाइफ, जो भी कैपेसिटी में, टुच्चा राइटर या व्हाटएवर, बट एट वन पॉइंट
आई
इन माय
कैन
लाइफ आई
वाउच
थॉट, हाँ, वी आर ऑल राइटर्स इन आवर,
या
इन आवर ओन spirit. So I was a writer at one point. I was a performer at one point. Uh, which was so I was a writer in school. I used to write poems a lot. And then
ओके
I also loved stage time. I was a lot into debates, etc. And usually like मुजफ्फरनगर छोटी सी जगह है, तो मैं वहाँ पे जीत भी जाती थी ऐसे. तो फिर but I was not funny in school at all. At least I didn't realize it.
ओके
But when I was in college, I realized that I was funny. अनुश्री, तुझे पता नहीं, तू इतना रूम में आती नहीं थी, बट मोस्टली क्या होता था कि मेरा जो रूम था वो अड्डा था. मतलब ऐसे जब आपको ऐसे जीवन से ये हो जाए ना कि अब ये पढ़ाई की कोई, मतलब एग्जाम की तैयारी नहीं हो पा रही है या कुछ भी,
ओके
तो लोग ऐसे रिफ्रेश होने के लिए मेरे रूम में आते थे. एक तो ये भी था कि मैं स्टोरीज वगैरह सुनाती रहती थी, और दूसरा ये था कि मेरी खुद की तैयारी इतनी खराब होती थी कि ना लोगों को लगता था यार ये इतनी चिल है यार, इसको कुछ नहीं आता है, कल एग्जाम है.
So
तो
your
वो,
room was
हाँ,
like a stress busting room.
हाँ,
Aajo idhar, but
हाँ,
Rupali would just chill out.
yeah. So that was also there in me at one point of time. But with stand up, somehow miraculously, all three things combined. And I had no idea that we could do this. I think it just happened to me, that it was a moment and I kind of seized it.
Yeah, but so now when I'm thinking, so you went into that direction and you probably performed first time, and then you realize ki there is something which is there in me which can be recognized by the audience, right? So that is like a positive scenario which happened, and
Mhm.
I'm so glad it happened. But on the way, of course, there would be scenarios जहाँ पे कुछ नहीं जॉब like नहीं चल रहे jokes, right?
Hmm.
There would be failures, there would be self doubts on the stage कि shit
Yeah.
लोग हंस नहीं रहे हैं,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So how
yeah.
would you handle that?
So वो तो Anushree, that happens even today, and that happens with every comic across the world of any caliber. We fail.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
win on daily basis, and we fail on daily basis, and we learn. That's the beauty of it. Sometimes we go to fail also. I
okay,
sometimes I go and perform with it. I know that this is what I'm trying, and I know that most of it would fail, but still you get something out of it.
yeah,
So it's a lot to learn from that also.
okay,
एंड आई थिंक इग्नोरेंस भी ना काफी हेल्प करती है कई बार। जैसे शुरू शुरू में ना आपको पता नहीं होता है। शुरू में जब मेरे 2-3 माइक्स चले या 2-3 शोज चले तो मुझे लगा मैं बहुत जल्दी स्टार बन जाऊंगी। तो ये नहीं पता होता कि जर्नी कितनी लंबी है। एंड आई
okay,
थिंक फॉर द इनिशियल 1 or 2 years दैट इग्नोरेंस हेल्प्स बिकॉज देन यू आर लाइक हाँ कुछ तो हो ही रहा है लाइफ में। बाय द टाइम थर्ड ईयर हैपेंस एंड यू रियलाइज दैट इट्स अ लॉन्ग वे, now you can't leave it anymore
yeah.
because you have done it for 2 years. So you're like,
Now you're
अब तो
into
कुछ,
it.
now you are into it.
But then again, I think that this is very like a close circle kind of profession, I'd say, right?
Yeah,
Not many people like मेरी life में, मेरे known में, you are the only one who's a comic, and
yeah,
and you're doing great over there. So
yeah.
it's a close circle. There's no reference. How do you deal with that without any reference, without like the challenges? I want to understand the challenges of not having a reference for this.
Yeah, I guess Anushree, you always have people around you who are part of the same journey.
Right.
When I started, my friends were also people who had no reference.
Yeah.
And then we found reference together.
Okay.
And now, as we are all kind of growing as a comic, as a professional. Now, again, our journeys, we will find people who are on the similar path. So you always have people, who you can learn from. And
Yeah.
even, and that's like, you need people also as ignorant as you, right? Because then
Yeah.
you figure that ignorance out together. What is this happening? How much of it should we know now? And then
Yeah.
you figure out those answers together. So, yeah.
And like that is that I understand ki ignorance, and then you learn over the period of time how to move forward in everything. But there would be challenges around being a small group of profession. There would be challenges around society, of course, right? Like if you tell your relatives and uncle and auntie ki you are going, I've seen your videos, right? So you're telling your uncle ki I'm going for these late night shows. So how do you deal with that? Does it impact you? I understand of the importance of those kind of things to be put on stage as a joke, but I want to
Yeah.
understand the behind work. Did that impact you anytime?
Anushri, I think you are bang on. It does impact, and it's a very slow process. Even for me, so stand up, most people don't understand. And where we come from, we are from
Yeah,
very, small town people. We have kind of leveled up.
yeah.
किसी तरीके से तो कुछ कुछ सीख के पहुंचे हैं कहीं
कुछ कर रहे हैं.
पे कुछ तो कर रहे हैं लाइफ में, बट ओरिजिनली लाइक वी नो वेयर वी कम फ्रॉम।
Yeah,
एंड वहां पे तो अभी भी मतलब पापा तो यही बोलते हैं ना, पापा मम्मी यही बोलते हैं कि यार नौकरी मतलब क्यों छोड़ रहे हो। तो
okay.
मैंने तो उनको बहुत सारे और रीजंस देके, हेल्थ रीजंस देख के समझाया, बिकॉज सी एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आई नो व्हाट आई एम डूइंग, है
Yeah,
ना। एंड लाइक अभी भी अब वो थोड़ा थोड़ा समझने लगे हैं, बिकॉज नाउ आई टेल देम कि देखो ये मनी इज कमिंग, एंड आई एम हैप्पी एंड ऑल
हाँ.
ऑफ दैट। सो नाउ एंड ऑल्सो अभी मैंने बताया था तुझे एक टीवी शो में भी आई विल बी फीचर्ड, सो which is a big deal for them.
Ooh, now this is the news, guys.
Yeah, so they are happy and they understand, but initially even I knew कि इनके लिए बहुत difficult है ये चीज़ समझना, क्योंकि इतना मुश्किल से तो इतना पढ़ाई वढ़ाई करके MBA करके एक पॉइंट पे हम पहुंचते हैं जहाँ पे हमारे पेरेंट्स हमारे लिए बड़ा प्राइड फील करते हैं कि यार मेरी बच्ची
Right,
बहुत अच्छी MNC में काम कर रही है,
right.
और उनके लिए उससे बड़ा कुछ नहीं है। एटलीस्ट इन अ
Yes.
प्लेस लाइक मुजफ्फरनगर वो
Yeah.
बैंक में जाते हैं तो बैंक वाले को बताते हैं कि अरे हमारी बेटे की तो इतनी सैलरी है। वो कहीं भी जाते हैं, किसी रिश्तेदार के यहाँ जाते हैं तो ऐसा फेंक देते हैं बातों बातों में। तो उनके
Yeah.
लिए वही बहुत बड़ी चीज है। तो मैंने शुरू में बहुत स्लो रखा वो प्रोसेस। तो आई डेंट वरी अबाउट ऑल ऑफ दीज थिंग्स, क्योंकि मुझे पता है कि अभी वो पॉइंट ही नहीं आया कि मुझे उन्हें कुछ भी कन्विंस करना पड़े।
Okay.
अभी वो पॉइंट ही नहीं है कि मैं कोई मेजर डिसीजन ले रही हूँ लाइफ में। तो इट्स
हाँ.
ओके, आई डोंट नीड टू कन्विंस देम राइट अवे। और मैं उनको ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं उनको सब बताती थी कि मैं इतना जा रही हूँ, या धीरे धीरे इवन आई लिव विद माई इन लॉज, सो थोड़ा
Yeah.
थोड़ा बताती थी। ऐसा नहीं है कि उनको पता नहीं था कि ये क्या करती है, लेकिन ऐसा भी नहीं है कि आई एम टॉकिंग टू देम और मैं अपना सीरियसनेस अभी बता रही हूँ कि मैं 5 साल बाद जॉब छोड़ दूंगी, देन दे विल
Okay.
बी वरीड। सो आई
So
वाज
this
जस्ट
is this is very interesting. I think this is something which I got from the previous episode also, uh, where like we all probably have to just get the awareness, right? Ki this is what we want to do. Uske baad there are societal challenges, there are people's expectations that needs to be met. But if you're dealing it smartly, like how
yes,
you did, then probably you just keep on going.
yeah,
But
yeah.
but that also will have impacts, right? Like you still would think at times that कि अरे
Yeah.
घर पे बता के नहीं जा रहे हैं, why I don't have that freedom to live my
Yeah.
life my own way. So
Yeah,
like
sometimes
does
I would
that?
feel, yeah, sometimes I would feel guilty कि मैं 5 बार अगर ओपन माइक्स जा रही थी तो मैं घर में बता रही थी 2 बार, और मैं
Right.
ऑफिस के बाद मैं 2-3 घंटा वेट करती थी कि ओपन माइक करके फिर डायरेक्टली घर में जाऊंगी, सो दैट
Yeah.
तो वो सब दोज थिंग्स आई हैव डन। बट माई हस्बैंड टोल्ड मी कि तुमको ये खुद ही अपने आप को लिबरेट करना पड़ेगा। तुम ऐसे मत
Right.
सोचो कि मैं अगर लेट आ रही हूँ घर तो फिर सब लोग मुझे देख रहे हैं या कुछ भी
Right.
ऐसा। यू हैव टू जस्ट नॉट केयर अबाउट इट।
Yeah.
एंड तो मुझे लग रहा था यार ये मेरे में ही कमी निकाल रहा है, ये मेरी प्रॉब्लम। बट देन ओवरऑल नाउ दैट आई लुक लाइक हाइंडसाइट में मैं सोचती हूँ तो एक्चुअली या इट वाज माय माइंडसेट आल्सो। एंड आल्सो आई थिंक वी हैव टू कीप इन माइंडसेट कि हमारे साथ जो हमारे परिवार वाले हैं,
Hmm.
एल्डर्स इन अ हाउस, they also are coming from a context. We
Yeah.
can't expect them to understand everything instantly, and we have to keep a belief in them कि वो लोग भी evolve हो जाएंगे टाइम के साथ।
Right. Right.
तो we don't have to worry about कि 5 साल बाद भी वो इंसान ऐसा ही रहेगा, क्योंकि तुम भी तो हो रहे हो ना evolve.
हाँ.
Give them their time to evolve. And I have seen like everybody kind of evolve with me at the same pace, though I feel that that journey could have been faster. But also I feel that those threads were in my heads. I could have, made
Overcome
अगर मैं
that.
चाहती तो हाँ मैं थोड़ा और फास्ट कर सकती थी, बट ऐसा कोई मेजर प्रॉब्लम नहीं है अगर आप इस बिलीफ के साथ काम करोगे कि सब आ
Right.
जाएंगे। आपके अंदर बिलीफ होना चाहिए, जब तक आप श्योर नहीं होते ना तब तक कोई श्योर नहीं होता।
Yeah, like this is also very interesting point कि once आपको believe हो जाता है अपने में, then it all comes along, and then कभी कभी we think कि हाँ I should have just not thought so much, इतना सोचने का शायद जरूरत नहीं होता है, because
नहीं था।
people eventually accept. I'm sure
Yeah.
for you
Yeah,
also it's all
yeah. No, when
been
I
there.
released my first video, which is about pregnancy, I was super conscious. Like I was very tensed because it was a very bold topic, and
Yeah.
like I'm a married woman, and like I have to think about how people think and how my family, both sides would react to it.
Yeah.
And I was super tensed, and I was my in-laws were at my place then, and I thought so they had to go. And I thought once they will go, then only I'll release my video, because I didn't want to. What if their reaction is not good, and now I won't be able to face them?
Okay.
And and I released that video, and then I didn't call my brother-in-law at all, because I didn't want to face the awkwardness of that this is the video that you have released. And but the beautiful thing is that otherwise he doesn't, we don't talk much, like it's not like we regularly talk. We are then he specially called me and he told me, he said बेटा तुम्हारा वीडियो देखा और वो बहुत अच्छा था, तुमने बहुत अच्छा किया, you were very confident and your stage presence was good and everything. He said all those things, and like I was almost in tears, and I said no.
Oh,
I was
that's
like, you don't know how much this call means to me, because
yeah.
it felt like we don't care about how people, we liked it and you were good and we are proud of you, so that's what. So sometimes I feel like we overthink too much and we create
Yeah.
those boundaries in our heads
Yeah.
एंड पहले तो हम वो ही तोड़ लेना, उसके बाद फिर हम देखेंगे कि एक्चुअल रियल बाउंड्रीज हैं क्या, हमारे
Like
पेरेंट्स
once
की
you
रियल
take that plunge, then
या
then
देन
you
यू विल
just
देन यू विल नो कि रियल प्रॉब्लम क्या है, फिर उसको सॉल्व कर सकते हो, आधी तो दिमाग में ही है.
I know. So ये तो of course the parents, the close relatives जो भी हमारे घर पे है, everybody eventually accepts. But
Yeah.
do you still feel कि अभी still after especially like dropping your job and being a full-time stand-up comic, do you feel कि अभी भी it's a questionable thing going out or relatives, those annoying relatives or public में when you tell कि yeah, I'm a stand-up comic. So do you think it's a questionable thing, even though you're like super famous and everything, but still, do you think it's a questionable? Does people react like that or frown anyways?
Yeah, so first of all, I'm not super famous. I have just released
I
my
tell
first
you.
video. No, honestly, I'm telling you an honest thing in the comedy circuit. Like, I'm not like a super famous comic, guys. I'm a decent comic. You should watch me. That I will definitely give to myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are always those people who don't know what stand-up comedy means. Also in terms of as a profession. So
Okay.
I kind of try to pick my battles when I go, say, in a wedding and I find relatives and they're like, oh, but why are you doing this? Why did you leave your job? So I tell them, if I like that person, I will genuinely tell them why I did it. If I don't care about that person too much, मैं ऐसा मजाक में
Yeah.
कुछ तो जवाब दे दूंगी. Or for example, when I go to my daughter's school and to drop her, and then I meet other parents, and they're like, "Oh, are you
Yeah.
working?" And then I say,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I was, but now I'm doing my own thing." And then they look at me with some pity. They're like, "Yeah, I know." Like, they're like, "Oh, basically she's jobless."
Exactly.
Yeah, so I don't explain it to them. I don't explain that because it's very difficult for them to realize that I am also earning, and my this entire model is different, and
Yeah.
there is a different path that I aspire for myself. So I don't bother. I just leave it at that, because when I say I'm doing my own thing, usually they're like, "Oh, poor girl," and also I don't want to go in that direction. I don't want to tell them that I'm a comic, because then suddenly they're like, "Oh, they suddenly look at you as a different person and not as
Yeah.
a as just like another mother." So
Yeah. So
yeah.
on that note, I wanted to ask, like I'm looking at my notes, and this is what I actually wanted to ask also, that do you yourself, like I don't care about other people, but do you yourself feel sometimes that you're giving up something, being a part of this, separate direction where you are doing new things? Do you feel
Hmm.
like you're losing something, like a stability or a
Yeah.
routine or like a every month salary, those kind of thing? Do you yearn for that, or the thing which
Yeah.
you are doing is higher, much higher?
Yeah, it was honestly, when I left my job, it was a difficult decision to take because the money was good and the stability was good and it was hard earned.
Yeah.
And also, like, one could say that you had the comfort of your husband's salary, which I would say yes. At least I don't fear for my daughter and her future.
Yeah.
But honestly, I worked till the point that I felt that I have saved enough that even
Okay.
without my husband's support, I can take care of my daughter. And
Yeah.
I have 2 years of runway, that I can, if I don't need to ask for money. So I need it because in my head, I need that independence. And
Yeah.
I have great support from my husband, but that's how I work. And it was a difficult decision for me also, because there is an identity that you develop over time, and
Yeah.
you are a human being. You also feel the pressure from your relatives also sort of judge you, that okay,
Yeah.
she's stable in her life and all of that,
Yeah.
and you have to leave that judgment and you have to say, okay, now I'm starting afresh. So it was a difficult decision, but I
Yeah.
had spoken to many other people who had taken a similar plunge, and they had told me what awaits me. They said the first 3 months will be very tough, and it was very stressful for them. And
Okay.
yeah, everybody had to go through a like one of my friend, he went to a went he had a very difficult time, honestly, and he told me about it. So I was prepared that something is going to happen with me, and I have to go through that, and
Yeah.
then things will be better. But
Yeah.
honestly, I इतना कोई खराब नहीं हुआ मेरे साथ जॉब छोड़ने के बाद। और मेरे साथ एक ये भी फायदा हुआ कि पैंडेमिक ने मुझे डिसीजन लेने में थोड़ा हेल्प किया। क्योंकि मुझे ये बहुत
Okay.
डर था कि अगर मैं पूरा दिन मुझे घर में रहना पड़ेगा तो फिर मैं कैसे करूँगी? और
Yeah.
फिर सब लोग मुझे घर में ऐसे ही समझेंगे कि दे वोंट अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट फ्रीलांसिंग मीन्स, व्हाट being a stand-up comic means, and then they will think of me, just a useless person. But the fact that pandemic forced us to work from home for 2 years,
Okay.
yeah, allowed me to look at life differently and allowed me to kind of manage my day and allowed me to imagine my day at home, how it would be if I am there full time doing a stand-up comedy thing. And also I realized, the importance. मतलब जब आप ऐसे काम करते हो ना, वर्क फ्रॉम होम करते हो, तो इट्स जस्ट योर सिस्टम। जो
Yeah.
हमारे जो वर्क से जो हमारे और पर्क्स होते हैं ना, कि आप ऐसे कैफे में बैठ के कॉफी पी रहे हो, एंड आप ऐसे फैसिलिटीज दैट यू गेट इन कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड, एंड सडनली यू थिंक दिस इज लाइफ एंड दिस इज ग्रेट, which is corporate is great, honestly, and kudos to everybody who is there. But when you work from home and you have that system, it allows you to see your work in its bare form,
Yeah.
and then you think that whether this is if this is giving me joy.
Hmm.
And I was in a very good workplace. My boss was super supportive. Like, I still go and meet her, like every 3-4 months I want to meet her. And my
Okay.
team was great, and everything was good, so there was no push from work front.
Okay.
And I was good at what I was doing, but I felt that there is more joy that I am finding somewhere. Every time I go and sit on that laptop, I want to finish my work and do something else. And
Okay.
then I reached a point where I wanted all my bandwidth to do just the thing that I wanted to do. I wanted my mind to be free.
Okay.
If you understand what I mean, like
Yeah.
I felt, yeah,
Actually, I want, so this was my, you're making this so easy for me because mera jo flow hai conversation ka, which is there right here in my notes. You're just bringing up right bang on those points. So that is my next point, which I was wanted to discuss, like talk about, is the level of happiness that you get here. Like,
yeah,
is it the thrill there? Is it like so high that nothing else matters, like your job or anything or a stability, or like what I'm trying to bring here to our audience is, how do you make that decision that you want to be a stand-up comic and not go into the conventional life where you just live 9 to 5 or something like that?
yeah.
And
But
probably that is also interesting, but still,
yeah.
like, this is
No,
something.
Anushree, I would also want to, I don't want to mislead them here. And I
Hmm.
also want to share that corporate life is also great. If you are in a great firm and you're working with good people, I still miss that life. And it's a great life. It's great to have money in your pocket, and it's
Yeah.
great to have stability by your side, so
Yeah.
that you have also the bandwidth to do other things. So
Yeah.
honestly, my corporate life enabled me to do all of
Okay.
this. So
Okay, that's,
I'm very
yeah.
thankful for all the time that I had.
Yeah.
And if it was not this, I would have found my passion in something in corporate life.
Yeah.
I was good at that also, but it's just that I didn't invest too much in that direction because I was investing parallelly here. So I was
Yeah.
not investing towards growing as a professional in, say, HR, where I was working. I was working honestly. So I just ensured that the work I was doing, it was honest work, and
Yeah.
even that gave me enough. In corporate
Yeah.
में तो honestly काम कर लो तो उससे भी काफी
Right.
ज़्यादा
Right.
हो
Yeah,
जाता
I
है।
agree.
हाँ, बट मैंने एक्स्ट्रा इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया। बट अगर ये नहीं होता तो शायद मैं वहाँ पे इन्वेस्ट करती। तो लोग वहाँ भी ग्रो करते हैं, अपना पैशन फाइंड करते हैं। तो ऐसा नहीं है कि 9 to 5 खराब है या कुछ भी है यार, बहुत बढ़िया लाइफ है। अगर आपको प्रेशर, अगर आप ऐसे किसी फर्म में काम नहीं कर रहे हो जो आपको पूरा चूस रही है, अगर
Huh,
आपको
of
वो वर्क
course.
लाइफ बैलेंस दे रही है, मीनिंगफुल वर्क दे रही है, तो इट्स अ ग्रेट लाइफ
So that
फॉर
is
श्योर।
that's a great point here. That becomes like a stepping stone for you also, and leverages you, that
Yeah,
that privilege, you have that time and bandwidth and probably a mental structure to
yeah,
think about things that brings happiness to you.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a great point here because हम सभी लोग ऐसा, me being corporate
mm,
in corporate since very long,
yeah,
it's a general convention that हम गालियाँ देते हैं, but then uh,
हाँ, हाँ,
it's a great thing that that is being put here, that that becomes your stepping stone, and you
Yeah.
just understand more that what brings happiness to you, and then probably corporate is the future for you, is
Yeah.
gives you happiness, but
और
then
ऑनेस्टली हम उसमें कंफर्टेबल हो जाते हैं उस लाइफ में, हम तभी उसको गालियां देना शुरू करते हैं. अभी मेरी मेड है, उसको कोई मतलब नहीं है मीनिंगफुल काम से, उसको बेचारी को अपनी रोटी चाहिए 1 महीना
I
की,
know,
है
I
ना. वो
know.
थोड़ी कह रही है कि यार मेरा काम ही मीनिंगफुल नहीं है. हम लोग थोड़ा थोड़ा ऊपर चले जाते हैं, तो हम लोग ये सब हैप्पीनेस वी वांट टू, तो ऑल ऑफ दैट इज आल्सो देयर. सो आई एम एक्चुअली ग्रेटफुल फॉर व्हाट आई
Yeah.
डिड एंड व्हाट आई हैड. सो
So the point which you brought up कि अगर शायद corporate नहीं होता, और अगर maybe आप stand up like that theater आपने नहीं join किया होता, तो कैसे होता? So that is one question I'll flash here. This is one question that's coming from audience also, that
आई डोंट नो सैफियाज, अगर थिएटर नहीं ज्वाइन किया होता, अगर मेरी किस्मत में होता तो किसी और तरीके से हो जाता. शायद मैं डायरेक्टली वो ओपन माइक में, ऐसे तो लाइफ में मैं मजाक में अपने हस्बैंड को भी बोलती हूँ कि अगर मैं वी मेट इन XIMB, तो अगर मैं XIMB नहीं जाती, एक्सेलराई चली जाती अगर तो फिर
Yeah.
मुझे कोई और मिल जाता, सो you never know, like everything that happens in your life is leading to another. So
That's
yeah.
like a glass full attitude, जिससे probably that's the reason why you are here where you are, like because you took every opportunity, you're taking every opportunity to move forward. But साथ में you have an awareness कि what makes you happy, and you have the courage to work towards that.
Yeah.
So that's
And
a
also
brilliant
the
point.
thing is, Anushree, ऐसा नहीं है कि इसमें when you are in a creative field, ऐसा नहीं है कि it's all happy.
Okay.
हमारे मतलब हमारे highs भी होते हैं और हमारे lows बहुत ही खराब होते हैं. तो sometimes you bomb continuously, and then sometimes there are no ideas, you feel a block. And even in what you write, sometimes you feel this is so inadequate and not good enough, that you feel like it's a constantly. Now I am a comic all the time, and when you are working in a corporate, you are able to disconnect at least for an hour, or at a point
Yeah.
कि अभी time खत्म हो गया, अभी weekends छुट्टी है मेरा.
हाँ.
Yeah, even if some weekends are working, if there is a weekend, कि today I am not an HR, today
Yeah.
I'm like whatever I am.
Yeah.
But like, when you are a comic, or when you are like a writer, or in any creative field, you're constantly that, and it's very
Okay.
difficult to disconnect yourself. You are just living like a comic, you are thinking like a comic, and in every situation. So sometimes it's also very draining, and you have to actually take a lot of care. I take a lot of care to plan my days and plan my schedule, to ensure that I manage my lows. Because now I have realized, I have been working in this field for so many years, and I've realized that lows will come. Like when a high comes, I know कि आगे lows भी हैं. So it's just that now I know how to manage my lows better.
That is a great point here, because we all think कि you being a stand-up comic, the jokes are there impromptu, or you have that hidden talent, you have that God gift कि आप joke मार सकते हो. So that is a great point for our audience to know कि there's a lot of hard work, I guess, mentally also, that you have to
Yes.
invest.
Yes.
अच्छा, tell me one thing. I've heard a lot of people saying कि सारे stand up comic real life में बहुत ही दुख वाले होते हैं. Is it true? Do you feel
Depressed
that
होते हैं.
sometimes?
Real life में depressed होते हैं.
हाँ, right.
हाँ, नहीं, some comics are, but ऐसा नहीं है ना कि ऐसा नहीं है कि आप अगर स्टेज पे फनी हो तो all the time you are being funny is not being happy. That we
We
have
don't
to.
get that कि पब्लिक में अरे बेटा एक जोक तो सुना दो, ऐसा
हाँ,
नहीं.
वो तो बहुत मिलता है, तो या फिर तो वो थोड़ा सा मैनेज करना पड़ता है. एंड like in normal conversation, if I'm in a group with a bunch of friends, possibly there are 3 other people who are funnier than me in that group, or
Yeah.
possibly I'm just like the quiet shy person. It could be anything. So but it's very different when you are on a stage. Maybe the person who is funny in a group, maybe he can't make a group of, it's about making a group of strangers laugh. And
Yeah.
it's also about being able to write a joke, being able to write a joke in a way that it could hit anybody, or that particular audience.
Yeah.
So it's not just about Safia's is like Rupali, your best joke.
Your best joke. Then I have this is my father-in-law. Hello, Papaji.
Are, namaste, uncle.
He's very supportive and
Yeah, I could see that. He's
okay. On the note of probably going to the first point where you started, like college, may your room was, the attraction of stress free and
yeah.
everything. I have something like a surprise for you.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to be scared, but this is something. Okay, wait, sorry. Technical problem.
No
Okay.
problem.
So, this is something. When I started thinking about a show with you, then I was talking to a lot of people, and Hamara college ka batch, being the lazy batch there, I approached few people, and people responded, and they spoke about
Wow.
you. And
Wow.
so what I asked them is that कि Rupali ka comic sense before she was a comic. So here's something I'm gonna play for you.
अनुश्री बहुत मेहनत करके आई है.
So I and Rupali, we hardly knew each other. मतलब कॉलेज में हमारी कुछ 3-4 बार बात हुई होगी, वो भी और लोगों के साथ बैठ के. So ऐसे पर्सनल लेवल पे मैं उससे नहीं जानती ज़्यादा, पर वो कुछ बार जो उससे मिली हूँ, आई हैव वेरी क्लियर मेमोरीज ऑफ दैट बिकॉज बहुत हंसी थी मैं तब. आई यूज्ड टू थिंक ऐसी लड़की है यार, इसकी क्या क्या लाइफ में एनेक्डोट्स होते हैं, एवरीथिंग इज सो फनी. उस टाइम मुझे समझ नहीं आता था कि वो मतलब अपनी स्टोरी टेलिंग, अपनी स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी हमारे ऊपर प्रैक्टिस कर रही है सो दैट शी कैन बिकम फेमस वन डे एंड गेट हर 1 million व्यूज. सो बट उस टाइम मुझे लगता था आई स्टिल रिमेंबर अ कपल ऑफ दोज इंसिडेंट्स. पता नहीं एक बार उसने बताया था कि कैसे उससे पूरा फ्रूट नहीं खाया जाता था, तो वो पेड़ पर लगा फ्रूट खा के आधा छोड़ देती थी, और पीपल यूज्ड टू थिंक कि कोई चिड़िया है या कुछ पेस्ट है जो उनके गार्डन को इन्फेक्ट कर रहे हैं. शी यूज्ड टू टेल दोस स्टोरीज इन सच फनी वे. उस टाइम हमें पता होता है कि स्टैंड अप कॉमेडी क्या होती है, तो हम शायद इसको बोलते हैं कि दिस इज समथिंग यू शुड ट्राई, बट शी फिगर्ड इट आउट फॉर हरसेल्फ. सो ऑल द बेस्ट रुपाली.
हाय रूपाली, अनुश्री, मेनी कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन यार जो तुमने शो शुरू किया. आई होप ये बहुत चले. और जैसा मुझे कहा गया है कि मुझे रूपाली के बारे में कुछ कहना है, तो बहुत मुश्किल होता है अपने दोस्त के बारे में कुछ भी कहना, स्पेशली ऐसे लाइव और ऑनलाइन आकर. ये बहुत मुश्किल काम है, पर चलो कोशिश करते हैं. पहले मेनी कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन रूपाली यार फॉर अचीविंग यार जो भी तुमने किया. ये बहुत मुश्किल रहा होगा, आई एम श्योर. ये कोई आसान जर्नी नहीं होती जब आप अपना खुद का रास्ता बनाते हो, पर तूने वो कर दिखाया. एंड आई नो ये सुन के तूने यही कहना है अभी तो मैंने शुरू ही किया, पर यार तब भी यहाँ तक करना, यहाँ तक अचीव करना, इट्स अ वेरी बिग थिंग. सो वी आर रियली प्राउड ऑफ यू. और जैसा मुझे अनुश्री ने कहा, कुछ उसके बारे में मुझे बताना है, ये बड़ा मुश्किल है. आई थिंक रूपाली की मुझे सबसे अच्छी बात हमेशा से ये लगी है कि ये ना हमेशा आज को जीने वालों में से, ये कभी भी ऐसा बैगेज लेके नहीं चलती कि जो है किसी का बुरा लग गया, किसी का अच्छा लग गया तो मतलब उसको लेके चले जा रहे हैं. नहीं, जो हो रहा है अभी हो रहा है, आज को जीना. और आई थिंक यही इसको सबसे अच्छा और सबसे स्पेशल बनाता. एंड आई रियली होप शी कीप डूइंग व्हाटएवर शी इज डूइंग एंड अच्छा ही करे. एंड रियली ऑल द बेस्ट यार, जल्दी मिलते हैं. ओके गाइस, बाय बाय.
Hi Anushree, hi Rupali. First of all, a big congratulations for both of you for just taking up something which you really believe in. Because even I have thought about doing things, but maybe I have never had the courage to leave the security, the comfort of what I'm doing, what I am, and just exploring something new about myself. And talking about Rupali, so my association with Rupali goes back to my college, which is like almost 15 years back. And I remember Rupali as someone very lively, very funny, a great storyteller. And like Rupali and I, we were never really, in direct contact, or we did not attend classes, but we were part of a group. And whenever I would meet Rupali, it would be the conversations would just flow without even, trying to think where we left and where we want to begin. Every single chance encounter with Rupali would be like so pleasant. I remember that Rupali and I would just make some plans on the go, and we would just sneak out and I would just meet her at some place and say, "Oh, let's go and watch a movie," and we would just plan it and just.
Hi Anushree, all the best for your podcast. Rupali has been great. I have heard some of her clippings on Insta, and I'm looking forward for this one.
Hi Anu. Hi Rupali. I hope you guys are doing fine. Anu, firstly, congratulations. Your show is amazing. Keep it going. You're doing a wonderful, wonderful job. And मेरा नाम भी रोशन हो रहा है साथ साथ सब मुझे बोल रहे हैं देख तेरी फ्रेंड अनुश्री ओके मुझे बोला गया कि मुझे रूपाली के बारे में कोई अच्छी अच्छी बातें करनी है अच्छी बातें इट्स सो डिफिकल्ट टू टॉक अबाउट गुड थिंग्स अबाउट पीपल इनफैक्ट वी आर सो यूज्ड टू टॉकिंग अबाउट बैड थिंग्स कि जब अच्छी बातें बोलनी होती है वी कंप्लीटली फॉल शॉर्ट ऑफ वर्ड्स व्हिच इज एक्चुअली हैपनिंग नाउ तो व्हाट डू आई से अबाउट हर I have known Rupali and Anu for a very long time. हम लोग साथ में एक ही कॉलेज में पढ़े हैं and we've done computer science together. And Rupali has been a very sweet girl and she's been very spontaneous. And हमको लगा था कि वो definitely आगे चल के कुछ करेंगी and whatever she's doing in her life and the way she succeeded in doing that, it's amazing. She's an inspiration. And keep it going, Rupali. It's very difficult to make people laugh, and you are doing it so well, and people are enjoying it. As they say, laughter is the best medicine, and by doing this, you're actually giving them the medicine. So all the best, and see you soon. Bye.
Okay, Anushree, I have no idea who the last person was.
That was just a crazy friend of mine, and she, like me being crazy, she agreed to do that. It was inspired by the fact of one of your video, जहाँ पे you are like you don't know the person, but you have to appreciate that person.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Amazing. For the first 10 seconds, I was really scared. I was like, this person is speaking so well of me, and I have no recall at all.
Yeah. Thank you, Vaishali, for doing this nonsense with me. But yeah, there were so many people. In fact, I just received few videos. I'll see if I can play at the end. Of course, वही जो हमारा CSIT के बैच के जो लास्ट मोमेंट पे असाइनमेंट फिनिश करने वाले लोग भी हैं जिन्होंने भेजा है वीडियोस बट probably I'll cover that at the end. So let me go to the next round of this show, which is called Moments of Truth. So now I'll just ask you some certain questions, and you can briefly give me some incidents or those moments where something happened, and you can be just quick about it and see how we see how it goes. Okay, so I wanted to ask, like, any moment where you blanked out completely during a stage performance and just wanted to give up this whole thing?
No, I might have blanked out, but then I kind of addressed it. I said, "मैं तो like whatever, like I addressed it and moved on." But no, I didn't feel like giving it up.
Okay, so that's great.
See, I have bombed terribly. Also, there have been bad shows. But also now doing this for so many years, there is also this awareness that you will feel terrible for 2 days or maximum 3 days, and after that you will forget it.
That's awesome. Okay, so any moment where you where something happened, huh? And then you felt that जितना भी challenges हुए अभी तक के लिए, it was just worth it. What was that one moment? Of
Uh,
course, ये journey के से related.
I think I think when I also there are so many live moments that make you feel so, especially when a show goes well and people, you see that people are really enjoying it, and sometimes you get the audience that that
Yeah.
is really your audience, and that is really cool. And also after I released my video got great reviews
Yes.
actually, and
Yeah, I
people
was thinking.
wrote to me. Yeah, so many strangers wrote to me, so many kind things, and uh, so that made me feel ki like this is all worth it, because I got the video the way I wanted it, in spite of the fact that Hyderabad is we don't have so many facilities for recording.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we struggled with the audio part, and the audio honestly was not good in my video, but it
Okay.
did decently.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you guys have to. I would ask the audience. You have to go to Rupali's page. I think I
You
have.
can
Yeah,
just
here's
search
the.
Rupali Tyagi, and
Yeah, this is the Instagram for Rupali. Just go here. There are links. It's hilarious. You have to watch that.
yeah. So I think to answer Anushree, every great show is a reminder of what a blessing stand-up is.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so any days or moments that has happened where you felt like it's too exhausting, like how you just said, कि 24/7 सोचना पड़ता है. But is there any specific time where you felt कि it's too exhausting and you want to quit?
Yeah, no, like I said, I never felt I want to quit, but there have been moments, sometimes when things don't go the way you want. For example, pandemic happens suddenly,
Yeah.
or you pick up pace, and then there is another lockdown, and then there are no shows. Or just for example, when I shifted from Hyderabad to Delhi, and the change of scene happened, so I was part of the Hyderabad scene, and then I have to start from scratch. I'm still working on that. It's been
Yeah.
just 2 3 months, and I felt lost at that point of time, because all my friends were there, and that comfort had been taken away. So for
Yeah.
some time I felt a sense of loss there. And again, like I said, there are lows when when there are no ideas, that you are just waiting for ideas, and there are no ideas, and you feel like, you know am I even good enough to, have I, like,
Yeah.
will I never write a joke again,
Yeah.
uh, so you just have to wait for it. So there are those days which are really really low, and very depressing, but at the same time, like I said, you figure out how to manage those.
So this is a bit out of that section, but I want to know, like, what over the period of time you are facing those lows. So how do you do you have a formula to come out of that low eventually?
Yeah, I think now I have like a ritual. Like now I know what I need to do. For example, if I'm feeling very exhausted or low, I I have to understand that I have to first. It's very important for me to feel happy. It's more than anything. It's more important than being creative or being killing on stage. It's more important for me to feel at peace and feel happy. So I give myself that time. I'm okay. I just watch like movie, whatever my heart says. If I want to watch movies, I try to watch those movies without guilt, because otherwise I feel this guilt key I'm wasting my time watching movies, and this
Right.
could be, this could be used better. So I do what I want to do, and I listen to a podcast, and I listen to some good music, and then I do something else. Try to forget about the fact that I have to work on a joke or anything.
Okay. Okay.
I
So
I do
you
other
give
things
yourself
basically.
time and space.
Yeah, I do other things that make me happy,
Hmm.
and once I have given that time, I feel the need of coming back to stand up again.
Okay. So that's the magnet that pulls you back. So that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay, Rupali, then I'll move to the next segment, the last segment of our talk here. It's called Rapid Fire. Of course, it's a borrowed concept, very original, right?
Yes.
Meaningful and insightful. So I'll just ask three questions and you can be very quick, try to answer within 30 seconds. And the great news here is that for the best answer that you'll give, there won't be any hamper or the Audi car also. Sorry, the
Cool.
budget is low.
No worries.
Okay. So I'll start. Okay, most unnecessary stigma that you find in the society today.
Unnecessary stigma is I don't know, there are too many stigmas, but also so many things about, what so many things that patriarchy brings, you
Okay.
know things that even like smaller things like changing your name after
Yeah.
marriage and all those things, and
I
choosing a profession so that you can get married easily. Those are the things. Or just like or the stigmas that a successful woman or a powerful woman will not be a
are
good
not. Yeah. Not
good
caring.
wife or a mother or whatever.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. So, if there's one thing you can change in this world, that what would that be?
Oh, that is definitely plastic. I want all the plastic in
Okay.
this world to be gone.
Yeah, that's again good point. And yeah, please, everybody who's watching, yeah, just
Yeah, drop your straws, everyone.
yeah, please. Okay, so if not this career as a stand-up comic, what do you think you would be? Probably how Safiyu's asked, like if you hadn't walked into that theater.
Yeah, then I would have continued being an HR in a firm, and I would have continued working on that career because that was
Okay.
decent too, and it paid well.
Okay, so one thing that you want to say, like one line that you want to say to all the women out there, which you think like once you say they will understand. So what would that one line be?
Yeah, I think a few of the things that it's very difficult to form a crisp line in a
Sure, sure.
when
Go
you have
ahead.
put so much of pressure on me, Anushree. But I think we have to just keep going, like, and we have to liberate ourselves for
Celebrate.
from
Yeah.
so many things, and
Yep.
we have to pick our battles. Honestly, हमें ऐसे छोटी छोटी चीजों पे सोचने की जरूरत नहीं है कि मेरी पसंद का खाना बनना चाहिए या whatever, like, yeah,
Yep.
just like pick your battles. Like everything is fine as long as there is a higher goal that you are able to achieve.
Yep. True. Again, on the same note, one thing that you want to tell all the men out there.
All the men out there, uh, I, I ऐसा मुझे कुछ कहना नहीं है उनसे, मुझे कोई खास मतलब नहीं है men से. Do what you guys are doing, like chill करो लाइफ में, हमें भी chill करने दो.
हाँ,
और
खुद जियो जीने दो.
हाँ हाँ, just थोड़ा stereotype थोड़ा ज्यादा कर देते हैं men हम लोगों को कि just even in comedy, women do a certain kind of comedy. Or I get so many comments of men who say women aren't funny. And honestly, I have seen, look at our families. In our families, I have seen more masis who are funnier than mamas.
Yeah.
या
True.
तो ऐसा कुछ है नहीं, घर में तुम्हारी होगी एक दो मासी जो बहुत ही झल्ली है, जो बहुत ही फनी है, अपनी फैमिली में याद करके देखो. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, इट्स जस्ट दैट कि वो मौका नहीं है. वो तो
Yeah.
बना रही है ना रोटियां, वो घर संभाल
Yes.
रही है,
Yeah.
तो वो
And
कैसे बनेगी
कॉमेडी भी कर रही है साथ में.
तो
Yeah.
so yeah, I'll just want to tell them that don't make stereotypes about women like we
Great.
haven't made about you.
Okay. Okay, this is an interesting one. If you one thing that you did in your life that you would never want your did or felt in your life that you would never want your daughter to do or feel.
I think it was so the experience in being in a small town comes with its own shares of troubles. Like
Yeah.
it was, I feel grateful that I had that, because now I feel like I understand that world, and अब तो urban world में तो हम हैं ही, we and I want my daughter to understand that world also. But at the same time, बहुत ज़्यादा ईव टीजिंग और ये सब बहुत होता है वहाँ पे, स्पेशली नॉर्थ में होता है, दिल्ली में भी हो जाता है. But I don't want my daughter to go through that, and I don't want my daughter to learn to be strong by going through that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay,
that's
on this, I want to show one comment for you, Rupali.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But I would want my jokes to be funnier than my courage.
They are. Okay. Okay, I'll continue. Okay. Complete the following sentences. Freedom to you
Is being myself, being able to say what I want, and being able to live a life that I want.
money for you is
is what gives me a base level of joy. it, yeah,
That's great.
it's important for me for the security of my family. I need some money. Yeah, basically.
Okay. My next question, I feel like I know the answer, but if you could go back in time and change one thing that you did, it would be?
I think I won't do engineering for sure.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I knew that one. Okay. What is that one thing that you would want to do right before you die? Like when you're dying, like you feel like right before you want to do or see or feel something
या एक इंस्टाग्राम पोस्ट तो जरूर करूंगी अगर इंस्टाग्राम रहा तब.
live.
Instagram live to my fans because I'll have fans, guys, by that time. By the time I am 90, I'm going to have 1 million people following me.
Okay. If you have to pick one superpower, what would that be
One superpower
for yourself?
for myself. Again, I think if I could just plastic खत्म कर दूं यार मैं किसी तरह तो yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay, now the last one is एक joke सुना दो बेटा.
अरे यार
No, I'm kidding.
जोक
I'm
तो
kidding. I'm just annoying
हाँ
you.
जोक के लिए तो वीडियोस हैं फॉलो करो मुझे इंस्टा पे.
Good job, yeah. Okay, so this brings me to this wrap of this hilarious conversation. I'm falling out of water in my mouth. It is great. It was great, and let me see just if I have any comments which are interesting that I can show. Okay, so let me see. Are all the jokes during a gig impromptu or you have to work? I think you answered you have to
Yeah,
work.
so jokes aren't impromptu, except some of the interaction that is, but jokes
Yeah,
are well written, well crafted, and tried multiple times. They go through a lot of rigor before they are brought to you in a paid show.
yeah. I wanted to highlight this comment again that what's your best joke so far?
ऐसे कोई बेस्ट जोक नहीं है मतलब क्या होता है ना कि आप एक at every given point of time there is a set of mine that is my favorite that I enjoy performing. Usually that's more latest, and then I
Okay.
get bored of that set, and then there is a new set that takes over. So there is no best joke. There is always a best set that I'm currently enjoying. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Uh, okay, so I'll just highlight for the gig from Vaishali. This is a comment for Vaishali, I think. Okay,
Yeah.
it was crazy. Sorry, Vaishali. Okay, so yeah, this would bring me to the wrap, literally. So it was a great conversation, Rupali. I really enjoyed and understood the fact behind the ek joke suna do beta kind of concept, and I hope people also understand and they keep on talking about this journey where there's self doubts, where there are fears, and then eventually there's happiness and self awareness more likely. So yeah, Rupali, anything you want to say to?
No, I just want to thank you, Anushree, and I could see that you did so much of research and you came up with so much of genuine question with genuine curiosity to know the other person, which is great. And I know
My
your podcast will go a long way if you continue to work at it, because if you don't, then what can
No,
I do?
no, I plan to continue. I hope I continue, and I hope it
Yeah.
keeps on going because it's kind of my like it's something that brings me happiness as well, and I just my vision broadens up as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anushree, and thank you everybody who has been watching this. Have a great day.
Thank you guys for watching this episode. And my next episode is going to be telecasted on 6th of March. So I am going to, yeah. So I'll just share more details, how everything over the period of time, and please do follow me, subscribe, and share on Facebook, Instagram here. And if you have any feedback, I'm more than happy to take. Just send email and or just ping me. You all must have my phone number or anything. Anyway, just just be in touch, guys. And thank you so much, everybody. Thanks, Rupali, for doing this with me.
Thanks, Anushree. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
see you. Thank you, guys.